one of the things I like to do is take big ideas and condense them down into the smallest way of putting them that I can find, so that I can remember them and share them. And the latest one that's come up for me is that we don't pick our feelings, but we do pick the beliefs and actions that influence them. So, easiest way to think about this is I don't pick that I'm going to feel hungry. But, I can eat and it can go. But I can also direct my attention. If I sit there and ruminate about it, I can go, I'm so hungry, I'm so hungry, I'm so hungry, I'm so hungry, and I can make it worse, especially if I'm like, I wish I didn't feel hungry, or I shouldn't feel so hungry. Sorry if this is making you hungry. But I can also sit with it and I can allow it to pass through. I can accept it and be like, yep, that's a feeling I'm having. And that can be something that can give me some power over it. But this is just an analogy, because it can be the same for all of our emotions. I think if you've ever had a parent or a teacher or someone in your life who's just been like, don't feel that way. Don't be so sad, don't be so upset, just pull yourself together. If you've ever seen that happen with a kid, you know it doesn't work. It quite often makes the kid cry more. And unfortunately, it also leads to, internalizing it, turning into shame, turning it into I should have more control over these involuntary emotions that come up. Should. And a big part of this is just accepting what is, We're human beings. We get tired, we get hungry, we get sad, we get angry, and that's okay. It's part of the experience. It's actually bloody useful information, really. If we didn't get these things, we wouldn't know. Guilt lets me know when I've done something wrong, helps me fix it. It's an uncomfortable emotion, but it's not useless. Every single emotion has a purpose. It's there to help us in some way. Sometimes we get a bit sensitive and, they start, having a bit of a hair trigger that can sometimes go off when they're not necessarily fitting the current situation, maybe responding to an old one. But nevertheless, they're still trying to tell us something. And we can take that information and we can go, all right, how do I want to respond to that? Out of that higher self, rather than just emotion, reaction. Discomfort, run away. That's the that's the path of the dark side. It's the path towards addiction. It's the path towards distraction, habit formation, and avoidance in all of those forms is what allows problems to persist. If we avoid a problem, we don't solve it. Avoiding it in the short term might be exactly what you need to get through that day, but avoiding it in the long term is what allows us to slowly deteriorate relationships, to including with ourselves. So allowing ourselves to be okay with feeling these feelings, with receiving the information that they're telling us, integrating it through this higher lens, is what allows us to actually learn from them and turn them into a positive thing. Acceptance of a uncomfortable emotion can be a positive emotion. And we do still have, even though we don't have the choice in which emotion shows up at which time all the time, we do have that other choice, that condensed thing right at the start. We don't choose our emotions and our thoughts, but we do choose the beliefs and the behaviours that cause these things to come up. So I might have a day where I'm feeling sad. And, I don't necessarily have the choice to just make that go away. But if there's beliefs such as that I'm terrible, that the world's terrible, that the future's terrible, or if there's behaviours such as just lying in bed for the whole day, I might be able to, if I can get in touch with that higher self, go, do I want to change any of these things? Are they serving me? Do I want to get out of bed? Do I want to say hi to a friend? Do I want to do any of these things that every time I've done it, I've felt better? Just a thought that I'd share.